All right, guys, I think it's really important to talk about how you can get the most out of your training sessions within the week. So whether you love to run, ride, lift, whatever your sessions are within your current training program, there will be key sessions within that training program that you will be wanting to peak for, that you will be wanting to get the most out of. And generally, as you progress along our training program, that these will be sessions where we're looking to express more speed, more power. There may be more complex terrain that you're looking to run on. Then you may be looking to push the volume, the distances that you're looking to run. But what is it going to take to get the most out of those sessions? And I feel that there's a lot of naivety a little bit towards some of these key sessions. And the point is, guys, you need to be prioritizing these the most. They're the most important sessions of your week. There's a lot of zone 2 easy steady state work that you're going to turn up and just do, right? Whether it's just jumping on the turbo, going out the door and doing an easy kind of 50 minutes, it's kind of 60-minute run. There's work in those sessions that you still need to respect and you need to turn up and do. But there are certain sessions within the training program that I will certainly want you to be peaking for. So every time you're looking down the barrel of your training week, you're going, right, if you're working on your strength and conditioning right now, you've got to get on top of a certain injury. You've got to be developing more strength and conditioning in a certain muscle group, a certain limb, that certain body part. You're looking to put more intensity and speed back into your legs post, kind of ACL rehab, or you're looking at developing your kind of your Achilles kind of tolerance again. So when we're looking to place more power, more speed, more intensity into a region, into your body, we have to place a lot of respect on this. And I think the reason I'm talking about this, guys, is because I come across it often enough where people are wanting certain outcomes from their training, but yet there's a lot of noise within their training. They're kind of adding in kind of some easy zone 2 kind of steady state work on the run out. They're going out the door in the morning or in the evening. They're kind of adding more to that training day, and you are essentially diluting the potency of that key training session. What I'm asking you to do is, if you have got a certain outcome that you're training towards, there are, again, this can be this. I mean, let's talk about it as speed right now. We are trying to put more intensity back into your body post injury. When you're trying to place more intensity, we're trying to put interval-based training, hill-based training into your programming again, coming off the back of a long-term tendinopathy and injury, a setback. I like to think you would be like, crikey, I'm not sure if I've got this. I haven't done this in a long time. And you'll be thinking, there's a bit of fear, a bit of hesitancy. That's a good thing, because hopefully that's going to put you in the right mindset to go, right, I need to make sure my body is prepared for this session. Those thoughts need to be there pretty much all the time when it comes to your training sessions throughout the week. If you're not injured, you're still looking down the barrel of a week and going, right, I want this from the track session this week. I want this from my long runs at the weekend. I want this from my S&C session. What are you doing to make sure that you are earning the right to put that level of intensity back into your body? Fueling, recovery, energy management, stress management, all of us, outside of our little bubble of training, a lot of people don't understand how much, how important our training is to us. But when we turn up, we want to be able to perform the way we want to. We want to be able to push our bodies and be able to perform the way we want to. But to do that, guys, we can't have this naivety and this ignorance to think that we're just going to be able to do that. You're not. As we age, as we've picked up injuries over the time, as our lives get busier and busier, we have to put these key sessions on a pedestal. And when you look at your training week, look at your training peaks calendar, you're looking at your S&C program for the week. What are the outcomes? And you as a coach, I'm going to be saying okay, I could easily illustrate what those key sessions are for everyone I work with, because there's a complexity, there's a fear factor to putting some of that level of intensity in someone's body again, because of a previous injury, because of them never having done that type of session before. What we've got to make sure, though, guys, it can't just be taken out on face value. Right? There's so many other variables that we want to make sure that are in place so that we can perform well for those sessions. And I've kind of leaned into them already, but your preparation in leading into these key sessions, whether it's a track session, a high intensity bike session, it could be an S&C session where you're looking to lift maximally, we're trying to bring in more complex plyometric drills. If there is a level of fear or anxiety that comes with it, that's good, right? Because that means that you're working those if there's a little bit level of doubt in your training, that's a good thing, right? Because it means that we're starting to we're pushing into that grey area, that we're pushing into new potential, and we're exploring the greater levels of benefits from your training. However, we need to earn the right. So your preparation, warm up, like making sure your body is in a great place. There is a non-negotiable warm up preparation that's going to be leading into these sessions. You don't just get out the car at the car park, walk up to the track, and you're straight into those sessions. You want to make sure that your body is ready to perform. You're not just jumping on the turbo or coming off an evening and just hoping that you can put those higher levels of intensity into your body, and your lower back, your hamstrings, your glutes, etc., are going to be good for it. Same thing with your lifting. Like if you're about to go into an S&C session, you're not just going in there and just hoping that 70, 80 kilo deadlift or whatever is going to be, you're going to be good for it. You're going through the dynamic warm-up routines, the resistance band work. You remember doing some body weight drills just to make sure your body's on point before you load that body up. You're fueling appropriately. The day leading into that, the day before, the night of, the morning of, all throughout the day, you're training over the evening or you're training early morning, you have fueled appropriately. Your body has got enough nutrition so your body is going to be able to respond for that session. You're not just winging it and hoping your body's good for it. Hydration, same thing. You've built up to that session. And this is on a weekly basis, guys. Like, because we're going to continuously expect our bodies to level up, to perform at the levels we want to. To do that, you can't be naive with this. We can't be just hoping that our body's going to be turned up, because it won't. It may do for a bit and then it won't. And you either plateau, or worst case, you start to blow up. And you blow up physically, like energy wise, you just simply won't be able to have that output. But worst case is your body lets you down, like it fails you. You pick up an injury along the way. And it's because there's this lack of preparation going into and this lack of prioritization to your training weeks. And we've got to have it, because this is where the real growth comes from. Like, we can build volume. Building volume is, obviously there's a priority to it, but then obviously we've got to respect that. But there's still, like, building volume is something that we can do layer upon layer. But the real growth in terms of the real stress that our bodies will respond to, it's going to come from interval, speed, power, maximal strength. Like, placing these types of loads into our bodies, where the real growth comes from a bone density, from a tendon ligament standpoint, but from an anaerobic kind of capacity. Like, we want to be developing our respiratory, our cardiovascular system with these types of intervals training. But again, we can't be naive to how much we need to prioritize these sessions. Fueling, preparation, we're leading into these sessions, making sure that's all on point. Energy, stress, like making sure these are in a good enough place that you can then turn up and perform at your best. That's going to be an individual to you. Like the day leading into this, into that evening session, the night before, the morning of, like, you want to be in as best of a headspace as possible. On a central nervous system, thinking about the neurological pathways, like we can't afford to be too compromised going into these sessions. If you're mentally cooked from stressful work, family life, other responsibilities within the week, and then you're expecting your body to produce high outputs of work, you're going into it in a deficit, compromised, distracted. What does that lead to? Burnout, injury, etc. So I do want to stress how important it is that these sessions, you want to be as neurologically fresh as possible. Lastly is going to be the fact that you don't want to be just adding other sessions to these days. Sometimes some of you just need to absolutely prioritize these key sessions within your week. And this is like, they're standalone sessions that you are allowing your body to be ready for. The reason I say this is because when you're working with someone who is building high volumes of training into their week, it can be very easy to kind of jump on the bike, go out for an easy run in the morning, and then expect your body to then do an interval session later on the day. Like, there is a time and place, and some people can tolerate it to a degree, but if you truly want to maximize the benefits of your training sessions, often these types of high intensity, maximal kind of state sessions, or risky sessions, should we say, they need to be standalone. They need to be sessions that you literally are just prioritizing, and they are like the things that you're thinking about, and that's all you're doing for that day. Because you're up at the track, you're on the bike, on the turbo, you're out with a squad, with a group, you're out on a long run. You want to be in the right headspace, physically, mentally. Everything wants to be on point. But you don't want to be going into these sessions in a deficit. And most people, guys, like, there is a wonderful naivety to a lot of people where they think, oh, I can do it all. But you're probably operating at 60%, 65, 70%. I wish I could define it exactly. But based on HRV, based on your resting heart rate, based on your power output, based on like your consistent training, you'll probably see that you're not making much progress. Like, you're turning up to these sessions kind of under recovered, under fueled, because you're spreading yourself too thin. So what I want more than anything for you guys is to get the most out of your weekly training sessions, so you can really start to see the traction of and really see the benefits of all the investment of time, energy, effort. But to do that, stripping back the noise within your training session, in your training program is key. Like I have to, I'm not saying when I'm programming for someone, it's perfect all the time. It's like you're looking at someone and you go, right, why aren't we seeing the numbers? Why aren't we seeing that, that kind of, we're not able to put those levels of intensity in, the body's a little bit niggly, it's struggling. Oh, maybe there's too much volume here. Then maybe we're not prioritizing what we need. And so that's where that feedback, that communication comes in, where you go, right, where do we need to strip back the noise a little bit, prioritize this aspect for the next couple of weeks. Let's really make sure that you're fueling, hydrating, you're prioritizing this within your calendar, within your your life timetable. Like when is the best time to be getting the most out of your body in those weeks? It's just so important to talk about, guys, because you can be going through the motions of a training program for months, years, and not seeing real traction within, and not seeing, like, you're still struggling with injury. That's the worst case. But some of you aren't, not injured, and you're still not seeing like real kind of growth. You're not really seeing real benefits in your ability to produce speed, more power, go run further, because you just don't have the energy, you don't have the power, you don't have the speed, you don't have the endurance. Again, it's because you're not prioritizing these key sessions within the week. And again, it depends on what you're training towards as to what the key sessions are. Some people, it could be the long, more complex terrain work that we're doing. We're getting people out, and then it's, they're going out for 3, 4, 5, 6+ hours of a weekend. And we're looking to gain 4,000 meters of feet of elevation at times. We really are trying to push the intensity in numerous different ways, a lot more with ascending work. We're bringing in poles, we're bringing in kind of different terrain, different climates, different conditions. There's a complexity here there, guys. We need to prioritize these sessions, right? Looking down the barrel of the week, these sessions got to make sure I'm fueling properly. I make sure my body's ticking over nicely. I'm deloading certain other sessions, so that is the priority for this week. It's just so important, guys, to keep recalibrating and going, right, what am I looking to get out? What are the key sessions for this week? What am I looking to achieve? And then it's not just looking at the actual session standalone, like what the actual, the makeup of the session is. No, it's making sure that you're fueling, hydrating, recovering, you're managing your mindset leading into these sessions so you can then go at it. Have a great session, put work in, surprise yourself. And guys, when you line these things up in a row and you get great preparation in place, you've fueled well, you've had a better night's sleep than usual, you've done these things, surprise, surprise, your output is that much better. Your body responds. That you feel like you could probably, you can actually, those last few efforts, so those times when you feel like your body's breaking down, it doesn't. It's still there. It's still with you. You've still got that mental clarity in those latter stages. You're still like present in your body and mind. And it's because you've prepared yourself right back at the beginning of the week for that moment. And I get it. We're all really busy with like life and we're literally jumping from one thing to another, but just take these moments to go, right, what do I need to do to get the most out of these key sessions within the week? That is where the growth is going to come from, because they start to compound. You do that week 1, all the way through a 12-week, 16, 20-week cycle. You are very different. You're operating at a very different level at the end of those number of months, because you've taken that moment to kind of prioritize those key sessions, strip back the noise in the right places, and obviously work on what you need to work on. Again, not worrying about what other people are doing. You're working on what you need to prioritize. And I guarantee, guys, you will see the difference in your performances and your health in general and your natural energy day to day, because you're building, you've got more resources to work with. You're prioritizing those resources at the right times. All right, guys, as always, let's keep talking about this type of stuff, because the questions I get coming back from you guys via email, via contact forms on the website, this is the stuff. This is why I'm putting this out into this, and I want to challenge your current mindset. I do want to challenge the current programming that you're working with, because to think it just on face value it's going to get you what you want. It's not, because there's always these individual qualities that you can be dialing in on to get the most out of your own training around your own lifestyle. So as always, just feel free to always get in contact, reach out, challenge me, question me on this type of stuff, because that's the job. All right, guys, have a good week, and I'll see you soon.